Hello there, welcome everybody, it's Diorama Don here. In the last video I suggested that I would be making a Ukraine subject diorama. But first I need to make the necessary tank. So this is a T72 Russian tank. This will be part of the Ukraine diorama, although the top will have blown off. So just for this video, I will show you how I went about making this. It's entirely made from cardboard and polystyrene. That's all. Washers for the wheels, pencil for the gun, polystyrene, a couple of the barrels that I made in a previous video, but the rest is just bits and pieces of cardboard. And that's all. Cost nothing to make. So if you wanted a T72 tank, then follow the instructions and you can have one for free. Okay, so let's get on with the video and how I went about making it. So 2mm card you will need. Thinner, not really. It won't be suitable. Thicker will be difficult to work with. 2mm is an optimum thickness of card to use. 3 pieces of cornflake packet cardboard stuck together will give you 2mm thick. That's the stuff you need. Okay, so assuming you've got your cardboard, then you need 2 pieces, 7.5, I think. 7.5 inches or 19 centimeters by 1.25 inches or 32 millimeters. Okay, 1.25 inches by 7.5. I'm using, well, 3/4 inch washers for wheels. By the time they're painted up and weathered and distressed, you won't necessarily see the difference. There are people out there saying, oh yes you will. Well, okay, you probably will, but for this purpose and for what I'm using this for, these wheels are going to be good enough, as I haven't got anything else anyway. So if you've got wheels from another project, from a different tank that you don't use anymore, by all means use a different wheel. But this is good enough. Okay, so given that our wheels are 3/4 inch diameter, which is the correct scale for what we're using, 1/35 scale, we need to mark out on here where the wheels go. Once you've done that, it's easy peasy. So we need the center line. Okay, find the center of 7.5, which is 3 3/4. The gap between wheels is 9.32 or 8 millimeters. So if you measure 4 millimeters either side of the center line, that will give you the gap of the middle of the tank, if you know what I mean. So that's 8 millimeters wide. Then from there you can measure 3/4 inch, which will be one wheel, 8 millimeter gap, 3/4 inch, 8 millimeter gap, 3/4 inch. Okay, so that's the position of your wheels, because the centers of the wheels, that line and that line, which is the center of the first and the sixth wheel, is 5 1/8 inch between centers for the correct scale. So that distance to that distance should be 5 1/8. I think it's round about that, if you work it out like that. So we've got the positions of our wheels. That's the main thing. Then what we need to do is draw a line 1/4 inch from the top of the card, 1/4 inch down, and from the middle draw a line midway down the well, 1/8 inch down, then, if you like, to wheel number 2. centre of wheel number 2. So from the centre to the centre of wheel number 2, and then from there down to the end, which is halfway. So 5/8, 5/8. So 5/8 down, draw a line up to there, and then up to there. Okay, and that we need to cut that. Then here, it's not, I've got my pencil, I've got my pen. It's not a 90-degree angle, it's a sharper angle than that. So at a sharper angle, cut there, like that. And then here, on the edge of the wheel, so there's the centre, so that's the edge. Between that point and that point, we need the halfway, approximately the halfway point, but then come out away from the halfway point. So you've got a line there and a line there. Okay? Between that point and that point. So that's what you need, 2 of those. So I'll go ahead, cut the other one, and cut these pieces out, and I'll be back. So we've got the 2 pieces of card cut out into the right shape. So we marked it out. Then you want a long strip of card 2.5 inches wide. 2.5 inches, which is 64 millimeters. Where the card bends, where it's marked out like so, just score a line. So place the cardboard on one of the sides, mark out where the line goes up like that, and then just score a line. Don't cut all the way through, and the card will bend. And then when you've done that, mark out where that score line will be, another one there, and another one on the end there, and then this one here. So you just need to find out where those score lines are in relation to the shape of the side. Okay, you can put a strengthener in if you like, not necessary, but I did anyway. So we've got this shape now. So we need to put that inside like that. Cut a piece of card inside up to the first bend like that. Okay, so that needs to be stuck in there, and then we need another piece of card 4 inches wide, and then mark through 4 inches, which is 102 millimeters. Yeah, 25.4. Yes, 102 millimeters. And then measure in 3/4 of an inch either side, which is 19 millimeters. So 2 lines either side, 19 millimeters. And this is, where is it? This is 8 inches, or 200, 200 it's just under 8 inches, fraction under, so 220 millimeters. And then place that on top like that. This goes right to the end. Okay, mark that at the end, and you're going to have an overlap of about 1/4 of an inch on the end there. Okay, so come back to where we marked out the first cut on the side and make a line there, and there's one further back there. Okay, so that's going to be a score line, that's going to be a score line. Then measure 1 inch back from the front there, and that's going to be cut. We're going to cut that out there, and cut that out there, cut that out there. So that's going to bend down to fit over the end of that. It won't go all the way to the end, but we've got that there. So that's a score line, that's a cut, that's a cut. So these two pieces are going to be our mud guards, if you like, that will continue beyond the edge of the tank. This will be cut and go down there. This will be a score line also, which will fit over that shape, and then you can hardly see it, but there's another score line there that will fit over there. So it will all fit nicely over there, except that these lines will continue and this middle bit will go down to fit over the chassis. Yeah, when I've done it you'll see what I mean. So I'll go ahead, cut that, put it on, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So I've fixed that 4-inch wide piece of card there, score there, so it follows the shape of the chassis there, and then just that last piece down there, because this front piece seems to be in like two sections if you look at photographs, and then we've got the remainder here for the mud guard. So I've started to put the wheels on, again 4 inches long pieces of barbecue stick, cut them off at 4 inches, and 6 of those along there. You've got the, where are they? You've got the marking out where the axles go, barbecue sticks rather. So they're on. So now we can put some wheels on. I've started to put the outside ones because I've fixed these permanently. For the drive wheel, it's just a piece of 5/8 plastic tube with a washer on the top, but then I cut a piece of card slightly bigger diameter and then cut like a cog arrangement around the edge, although you won't see it anyway. By the time this piece is on the front and the track is on, you probably won't even see it. So the wheels, I've made 3/4 inch washers, stuck the washer onto a cube of polystyrene 3/4 of an inch thick, and then cut down with a sharp knife until I've got the shape of the circle there. So I can put these on. I made a bit of a mess of the painting, but then I always do. It's all on the anyway. So there's the wheels, and then of course the trusty tank track corrugated card. I've yet to paint the outside yet, but that will sit on there. And now we're beginning to look a little bit like a tank. I know there are wheels in the back there, but because you just will not see them at all, I can't see the point of putting them on. I don't want too much work, so you're never ever going to see them. That is where we are at the moment. What we need now is that shape to sit inside that, to sort of close off the end of the mud guard, if you like. But then there is another shape over the top. So I'll go ahead and do that. I think that would be an easier way to do it, and then show you what I mean, rather than try to explain. So I'll do both sides, put these side pieces on, and the other side, the wheels the other side, and then that will just leave the turret. So nearly done. So I've filled in the side pieces, just put card in and taken up the shape of the top of the tank. So along there, a slight incline down there, and an incline down there. So they're filled in, and then with yet another piece that will sit up against there, like that, and it will show, it it will show that wedge shape between this bit and this bit, sort of like that. So it's wider here and narrower there. Okay, so that on there, then this front piece cut right back, and then from the second wheel from the back up to there, then there's a cutaway there as well. If you look at photographs, every single tank is different, but in general and on average, that's generally the shape of it. Okay, so I'll put those on either side and fill in the back. Some tend to have these barrels on the back there, and as I made these a couple of videos ago, fuel cans, I may as well utilize them on this. Anyway, that's in the future. So I'll put these on and then we'll sort out how to make the turret. So we've got our side pieces on. We've got that wedge shape from back to the front, and the mud guard that comes back there, and that shape. And you can see why I didn't bother with the wheels on the inside. You're just not going to see them. So waste of time making them. So we've got the the basis of the tank. Now we need the turret. So we need a 3-inch diameter card. So set your compasses to 1.5 inches. You need a 3-inch circle. On that circle, draw a centre line and go out of the centre, go out of the circle for a line there, perpendicular to the line you have drawn. Okay, that's about 1.25 inches wide. There's some kind of storage unit that fits on the flat part there, and then just a slight inside the circle, another flat surface that will hold the gun. Then you can, I haven't got my pen again. From that point, join that up to this, because it's not a complete circle. It's just slightly off. So join those points there to the circle, and the point there, and also there and there. So it's not a circle. So when you cut it out, it'll be that kind of shape. There's the front, and that's the back, and then round those edges off where you've cut them out. So you'll have basically that shape. You're going to have 4 of these. So I've got 2, and I've got 2 there to cut out. So they will go together like that. Then with a piece of polystyrene, 3/4 inch polystyrene, sit that, have I got that right? Yeah. Sit that on there, and just with sandpaper, just keep going round slowly, making the shape. If you look at photographs, you'll see the shape of the specific, how it is rounded. It's not made, it's not fabricated. It's a mould, not a mould. What do you call it? Oh, I can't remember the names. Anyway, that's the general shape of it. You just need to keep going around slowly with sandpaper, just getting the right shape, and just a bit of a flat on one side and a flat on the other. Okay, so with 4 of those and 3/4 polystyrene, that will sit on there, and that's going to be about right with the gun sticking out there. And obviously it's going to need some kind of filler to cover the polystyrene, but that's not a problem. So I'll cut the reason I'm using 4 is to make up the 1 inch. It needs to be 1 inch from the top of the tank to the top of the turret up there, and obviously 3/4. I suppose you could use 1 inch polystyrene. I suppose that would be one way, but with the cardboard you've got the shape to cut to sand to. So it's a better idea, really, having the cardboard at the bottom there. But with 4 pieces, that will make up the 1 inch, which will give the 2 3/4 from the bottom of the wheel to the top of the turret, 2 3/4. Okay, I'll carry on, finish that. Then I'll give it a coat of filler. Everywhere, a whole lot of filler. Where we've scored the cardboard, it's obviously opened up the cardboard, so with filler I can fill all that in. Just filler and a little bit of water, not straight out of the tub, just so that it's paintable, if you like. And then that will be a basis then for painting and adding all the bits and pieces, which is the best bit. This has been the difficult bit. So I'll come back and see then. So here we are. Once you've got the main part of the tank built, the chassis and the wheels, and got the turret on the top, that's about as far as I can tell you what to do. I don't like to say tell you. The rest of it, it's a case really of looking at photographs, looking at YouTubers putting their plastic tanks together, and finding out what you can add to the model. So if I go over what I've put on, we've got a pencil here. We've got the end of a what do you call them? Pipette, not pipette. The other, yeah, pipette. A plastic pipette thing on the end of the gun there. Cardboard here. 2 pieces of cardboard there. 3 pieces of cardboard. Thin card along there and on the sides. The storage units are blocks of polystyrene with the cardboard on top to show the lid. The 2 drums I made in the previous video, well, 2 or 3 videos ago. So if you need to know, I've made a video on how to make the fuel tanks. Pencil, not cocktail stick, barbecue stick. What have we got in here? The engine cover is a piece of mosquito netting. So really is a case of looking around to see what will. That's a piece of pencil. This is on the side of all T72 tanks. No idea what it is. No, don't know what it is, but I made one and put it on anyway. So it's a piece of pencil with a piece of card around each end. What else is there? The hatches are there's 2 pieces of card there, and a different shaped hatch there, and the viewing, what's it there. So that's basically all I did. Just adding those bits and pieces makes it into, well, what you see now. So then I gave it that coat of watered down wall filler, just to fill in the where we'd scored the cardboard. That's all filled in. So, and whatever anomalies you have on making it, you can get rid of all that with the filler. When that was dry, give that a rub down. Then I gave it a coat of green paint. I just added some black paint to yellow, and that will give you all various shades of green. So a kind of olive green, Wasn't such a great finish with that, so I just gave it a squib of red oxide over the top, and that sort of blended in with the olive green and made it look okay. And then finally a very, very fine white brushing, so absolutely no white paint on the brush, hardly at all, and just go over with that, and that's all I've done. I haven't fixed the top because I want it to be part of the diorama that I do in the next video, and the turret will be blown off, so I don't want that to be fixed just yet, but later I will do. Okay, so there we are, one T72 tank. Of all the tanks that I've done, the Sherman and the Tiger and the World War I tank, I think this is the best. This has turned out very, very well indeed. I'm just pleased about the turret. I didn't know how I was going to get that shape, but just shaping that piece of polystyrene did it beautifully. Okay, so if you have enjoyed this rather long video, please subscribe to the channel, click the like button, no charge, and like I say, you'll be informed when I put the next video up, which will be the Ukrainian diorama, a special one that will be. Okay, so thank you for watching. Have a go yourself, please. It's just as much work as doing a plastic kit. You've still got to put your plastic kit together. You've still got to glue all the bits together. So there's still a lot of work, even if you bought a kit. But this didn't cost me any money. Maybe $1 or $2, £1 or £2, a couple of pounds at the most to make this. So, okay, I'll stop talking. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video. And as always, happy modelling.